We're live in like 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we're live now. And hey guys, welcome back to another show, which is going to be so much fun. We got Castaldo with us, who's going to get into some deep topics tonight. So buckle up, everybody. We're going to play the intro. We get started if it plays, and okay. And I just want to hit the subscribe button, guys. Like, I'm really pushing for people to subscribe. Like, that's the most important thing right now, because it helps out so much. Like, I'm trying to get to 5,000 on Rumble by the end of. I'm trying to get to 5,000 on Rumble before the end of the month. Before the end of this month for sure. So subscribe on Rumble. It's rumble.com/Typical Skeptic Podcast. And this should go down now. And let me see here. All right. Okay, great. All right. So my guest tonight again is he was on the other day, but it was so much fun that we decided we wanted to do another one. I have with me my good friend Castaldo. He's a visionary mystic born inside the call. He's a ancient knowledge keeper. He returns tonight for a powerful night of crystal readings and deep esoteric wisdom. Known for his profound insights into prophecy, ancient texts, and spiritual cycles, Ra weaves together timelines from the Rig Veda, the channeled works of Oahspe, Oahspe, and Rudolf Steiner, revealing how humanity's current shift is part of a greater cosmic plan. With March 21st, 2025 marking the end of the Kali Yuga, Ra will explain how we're entering the Great Summer of Purification, a 300-year transformation period where humanity will experience intense spiritual cleansing, awakening, and global change. He'll also explore the historical 1879 planetary cycle shift and what it means for our present moment. As tonight also marks the beginning of the Lion's Gate and externalization of the hierarchy, Ra's channelings and crystal guidance will help viewers align with the incoming energy. So we'll be doing readings for you guys. This is a must-watch for truth seekers of prophecy and spiritual empowerment. You can check out Ra's website at themysticalspiralstore.com, and his YouTube channel is Exploring the Call with Ra. And I'd like to give him a big warm welcome back to the show. Rob, thanks so much for coming on, man. How are you?
Rob, it's always great to see you, buddy. I'm glad to be on your show. And everybody, please support Rob's channel. Like and subscribe on Rumble and all the platforms. He's doing a lot of, it's a grind, man. You do a lot of shows a day. I give you a lot of respect for doing all that.
Yeah. I mean, I know not all of them come out great, but I'm just trying to put a lot out there and just, let the shit hit the fan and see what sticks,
Yeah.
I like to stay busy too, I really love to stay busy, I love to stay busy.
It actually is good, for your channel, because you're putting all different people out there and you're letting the audience decide what's right. You know what I mean? You're not judging anybody. I like that take. See, like, I think people too nowadays, they need to remember who they are. And I think because of the culture of the computer and being online and everything's recorded and everybody's on camera and everybody's on the spot, being put on the spot, basically. I think people are very scared of being judged and having other people see them be judged in the open, right? So no one really likes to be challenged nowadays, which makes me wonder that they don't really know the topics that they're talking about. Anybody that's scared to be challenged or can't take someone not agreeing with them doesn't really understand what they're talking about, because they're only there to have someone be agreeing with them. And if you know what you're talking about, you should be able to explain it correctly if someone challenges it.
That's right? A good point. Yeah.
And I'm not a cheerleader. I wasn't raised to be a cheerleader. I've had a very hard life where I'm very upfront with people. So if you're a real friend, you'll tell somebody how you feel, and you don't have to be disrespectful about it. But sometimes we don't say things the right way as humans, and I'm not perfect either, but like, I'm not a cheerleader. And I think nowadays in our society, people only want to have positive feedback because they don't want to be put on the spot in front of everybody, and I don't mind if someone wants to challenge me with some of the things that I'm talking about, as long as you're ready to have an intellectual conversation about it. If it's just name calling, then forget it. But that's where we're going in right now, dude. We're going through a gap of matter and spirit, where a lot of things is taking place. Like there's a gap, and the matter and spirit is destabilizing between people, right? Some people are moving to a higher vibration, and some people are becoming more dense with materialistic sludge and it's becoming, so that matter and spirit destabilizing transformation that's happening right now. A lot of people are getting polarized towards one way or the other. A lot of people that think they're spiritual are really just materialistic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're right now at a time, over the past 5,000 plus years, we've been going, actually, I would say over the past 2,700 years or so, we've been living in the ascending Kali Yuga, and when we're, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, there's Yuga cycles in ancient Vedic, right?
So, session of the equinox, right?
Yeah. So what happens is a complete Yuga cycle is about 2,400 years, right? You have the Dwapara, you have the Treta, the Satya, and the Kali Yuga, right? And you have like the ascending and descending sides of that. So supposedly the Kali Yuga, to some people think it's going to end 300 years from now. Some people think it was scheduled to end right. We just passed it in March 21st of 2025. Now, when that happens, we enter into a period of transition for 300 years. And while this happens, it's sort of like an exiting civilization that's going to sort of, this happens every Kali Yuga. After the Kali Yuga, there's a transition period, and that civilization that was thriving is sort of at the tail end of its existence. And as the curtains fall on that civilization, it collapses and it's replaced by new ones, and it's sort of like a time of cataclysms and change on the planet, but also a time of renewal. The ones that survive usher in a new age, right? So a lot of people think that in 1879 there was a cycle also that emerged, right? That we transitioned into a different age, right? In Theosophy, Rudolf Steiner calls it the age of Archangel Michael, that we transitioned in 1879 to the age of Archangel Michael. And that's age of Archangel Michael versus the age of Mammon, the god of money. That's how Rudolf Steiner puts it, which is basically the same thing we're talking about. It's about Archangel Michael is the flaming sword of the sun. He's about purification by fire, right? And now we're at a time of purification by fire, and we're in a time of enormous change, and a lot of things are starting to unfold that are showing that it is truly the end of the Kali Yuga. And it's also the end of a 12,000 year cycle of consciousness which began in 9,000 BC, right? So if we look back sort of at the whole Kali Yuga that we have records of, I mean, we've seen a lot of civilizations come and fall, and a lot of things have flourished and left. And we're right in that path to be part of that, civilization that's winding down, and then a new one's going to emerge. And they call that the Great Summer of Purification, that 300-year period after the Kali Yuga where transformations take place, right? And when I started to research some of the theosophists, it blew my mind that Alice Bailey, if people don't know who Alice Bailey was, she lived from like 1919 to 1949. She is where she wrote her most of her writings is from 1919 to 1949, and she wrote many books, and a majority of her work was telepathically channeled or transmitted by a Tibetan master she called Duaj Kul, or DK, or the Tibetan, she would sometimes refer to him as. And my mind was blown when I read in almost a century ago. I mean, like in the 1930s, she wrote that in the year 2025, it will be the date in all probability that the externalization of the hierarchy will appear. And I might have mentioned this before on your show once before, but this is externalization means something is going to reveal itself that was hidden. It's going to externalize, right? And the hierarchy she's talking about is a celestial hierarchy of light. And some people, Christianity will say it has to do with demonic entities. Alice Bailey thought it more about revealing ancient masters that were going to help bring a oneness on the planet again, to put it in simple words, right? And you know, Alice Bailey wrote, 20-something books on these subjects, and one of them a treatise on cosmic fire. I have them here. One of them is a treatise on cosmic fire. The other one, the externalization of the hierarchy. This is one of them, externalization of the hierarchy, and treatise on cosmic fire. Those are just incredible books that people, if you can get into them, there's a lot of ancient wisdom in there. And Bailey talked about that the vibration of the planet is going to be about one life, one purpose, one family. And she wrote that an avatar is coming to the earth in order to further the manifestation of unity, of oneness, of interrelation. And when he comes to wield and apply first ray energy. Now, when she mentions first ray energy, she's talking about the 7 rays, right? There's a book by Ernest Wood, if you guys ever want to get it, that he wrote in the early 1900s called The 7 Rays. 7 Rays. The green screen, you can't really see it right here, but here, I don't know if you can see it. This is the 7 Rays book, but it was written in by the Theosophical Publishing House in 1925. This book was written by Ernest Wood. So you guys can get that, and they can get more into what each ray, what the rays are, literally are streams of light, plasma streams that are coming from our star that teach people different wisdom, personalities, traits, and and it's a matter of us absorbing them and applying them, right? And in 2025, this was supposed to be the first light coming on our planet now. And we can feel a changing light. I don't know if you can feel it, Rob, but there's been transformation happening within people all over, right? And it's just it's incredible. You can feel it within people, and it's actually the sun doing this. It's the star. It's our star. That's
I was gonna say the weather's changing too. It's weird. Like someone just told me today, they were like, they're in North Carolina, but I felt the same way in Pennsylvania. It feels like fall's already here. Like it's like
yeah.
It feels like here in Pittsburgh. It feels like it just like you can almost feel like it's fall. I mean, I know it's already August, but like it feels like September, October weather. Like something seems like off. You know what I mean? Like something doesn't seem like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that ties into it at all, but like. Like the weather's been off. I don't know. Does that have something to do with it? Like the weather and the way it could be off or something like that?
For sure, dude. I mean, the sun is doing things that it hasn't done in over 100 years. So, yeah. It's never been this humid in New York ever. I mean, it's already humid here all the time, but it's never been this hot. It's like It's just the humidity. And it also has to do with the fires in Canada right now too. But it's just incredible. It's really the weather has never been this way. I've never experienced heat the way it's. And I'm 47 years old, bro. I've gone through a lot of summers. I've never experienced the heat like this before in New York.
Wow. Yeah.
It's really incredible. And in my opinion. I mean, there was a few things that, I don't remember off the top of my head, but you guys should get into some of the Alice Bailey work if you're interested in the things I'm talking about, because there was a few things that humanity could do to avert having this complete destruction of our civilization. There was a few things that she talked about, but it is basically 2025 is the cutoff date for humanity to recognize that we're a divine being, that there's guardians of the human civilization, and they're embodied in us, right? And it's our sacred obligation to act in harmony with the divine plan of the cosmos. And we're working against harmony of the divine plan of the cosmos, and we're supposed to be in harmony with each other, nature, and our environment, and progressively cleanse the collective consciousness, right? And if we're unable to do so by this year, I think it's really going to be catastrophic changes on our planet, and it will inevitably sweep through the human spirit and through the planet like a storm of fire. And we can make this fire change into a global DMT awakening of higher knowledge if we can change the collective consciousness. And it can happen like instantly, like a wave coming over us, right? But it has to change on a global level. Like collectively, we have to be in tune with each other. And
Yeah.
I fear this is almost impossible now because of the way society has become, the way that we have secret societies programming and controlling the media and doing everything to keep us inside the sludge, right?
Yeah. It seems like the world's run by like a bunch of like perverted pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like the people
Definitely
keep
is.
getting perverted and crazy and shit. It's like,
Yep.
there's like our community, which is like awake and that would like be open to these changes, and we are trying to change it. Like people are doing the shadow work and stuff like that. But then there's a large part of the world that's still not awake, and they're still like, it's like stuck in that, like you said, material sludge. And not just that, but like they're out to do it at any cost. Like they're willing to like kill their neighbor to get ahead. That's
Yeah.
how sick some people are. It's like
Well,
really like some people really live in a distorted reality.
Well, check this out. There's not just Alice Bailey that said this. There's a lot of prophecies from Tibetan Buddhism to Hindu prophecies that describe this time we're living in right now. And they all describe some sort of end times apocalyptic battle, even in Christianity, right? So the Kala Chakra Tantra prophecy, right? This is a Tibetan prophecy that it kind of points to the year 2025 as the time of the apocalyptic end time battle as well. So it contains some of the most some of the fundamental parts of Tibetan Buddhism, right? And it basically describes a very similar thing to what the Hindus describe in their prophecy of Kalki, right? So in the Hindu prophecy of Kalki, first, he appears from Shambhala, from this holy land, right? So possibly it could be even the Duat, the Gehenna, the Hades, some sort of Patala, some sort of land of light that's connected to Earth or within Earth, right? And this Kalki being appears from Shambhala to destroy all the evil on the planet. And in a lot of the Tibetan, they were actually translated from Sanskrit texts. So you have to expect this to line up with it, because most of this knowledge, even from Tibet, it originated from ancient Sanskrit, right? So the Kala Chakra Tantra has these 32 kings that sort of rule in hidden, right? They're kind of like what Alice Bailey's talking about, where something's going to become externalized and show themselves. Well, in the Kala Chakra Tantra, there's 32 kings that rule from invisibly. They're from in this mystical kingdom of Shambhala, and this is after the Buddha, right? And each of them are supposedly rule for 100 years each. So that's a total of 3,200 years right there, right? You got 32 kings. Each of them rule invisibly for 100 years each. The first 7 of them were called the Truth Kings, right? The Dharma Rajas. And then you had the next 25 of them were known as the Kalki Kings, right? The holder of the castes. And then the final king will be called Rudra Chakran. That's called the wrathful one with the fiery wheel, right? So that to me is a coronal mass ejection that's coming to purify the planet by fire. And that he's going to ascend the throne from Shambhala as the 25th and last king. And if you do that time period, right? So when you the final battle between Rudra Chakran and the barbarian rulers of the earth is prophesized to happen in about 2425, which is like 400 years after the 2025 date for the end of the Kali Yuga. But when you go through it, there's some errors in it, and I think that 400 years is actually where they have it as 2425 is actually 2025, because there's some errors in there and things like that. And I actually think they don't mean 20. It's not 2425. It's actually 2025. A lot of people are saying the Kali Yuga is supposed to end in like 2300 or 2400, the year. And I actually think it's ending in this year. So you can debate on that, but there's a lot of prophecies that line up with this and talk about this end times battle where this avatar is going to appear. Now, I think this lines up with Christ as well, Rob. And I think Christ is a real figure. There's a real thing, and Christ is recognized in everyone.
Is that the Kalki avatar? I've heard Sheldon Moore talk about that on Leap Project too. I think is that what they call that?
Yeah, the Kalki avatar. Yeah, and they're supposed to become at an end times battle, and Christ. I truly feel that he came here to find the coordinates for the afterlife again. We lost the coordinates to a harmonic ascension, right? We lost the coordinates for us to become light again, for our souls to move to a higher vibration and move from this dense state of matter, right? I truly believe our souls are a plasma light, and it comes in up into our heads when we're in the womb. It enters into the top of our dome and spirals around our spine, right? And that light is what impulses information up your spine into the back of your brainstem and floods your mind with pictures and words and knowledge and all sorts of ancient wisdom coming from the spiritual realms of light. And we're connected to that light. It's connected to the spinal current of humanity, right? It's the soul. It's a plasma, right? And it's a plasma universe. The universe is all made from plasma. If you look at every sun and star is a plasma star. It's streaming plasma. If you look at a nebula, it's a big boat of plasma. It's a big, huge, like when they talk about ancient Egypt, Rob, they always talk about like the boat of millions of years or the temple of millions of years, right? That's on a galactic scale. Plasma is measured in millions of light years. It is, if you look at a nebula, it's 6 million light years of plasma. It is a huge boat of plasma traveling like in the cosmic waters, right? So they talked about this planet in Vedic culture in Sanskrit as being the land of Ila, the land of Saraswati, right? The land of Aditi. What that means is the land of the prayer planet. This is the prayer planet, and we are connected to the heavenly world of light, right? Where we can manifest. And unfortunately, we've been manifesting materialism. We've been manifesting the vibration. We're being evolved according to our own vibration, right? So what that means is the sun is absorbing our thoughts, our prayers, what we're longing to be, what our soul is calling out that we want, right? So when the sun absorbs our thoughts, our prayers, it's going to stream us light to evolve us according to what our vibration is. So if you have a materialistic collective coming out of the planet, the sun is going to channel energies and light to us to evolve us towards that materialistic goal. So if we change the vibration on the planet, we will immediately catch a wave of the collective changing. It'll be like nobody would be none the wiser, would sweep over the planet, and all of a sudden it would be like a different timeline, and no one would probably even realize the shift happened.
Wow.
Right. And that's where and starting in 1879, the year that Rudolf Steiner mentioned as the beginning, the age of Archangel Michael, we started to have a lot of channeling of light on this planet. One of them was the book of Oahspe. I don't know if anybody's heard that, but it's one of the most incredible books that's ever been written. It's even bigger than our Bible. So this is the book of Oahspe right here. Now, this was published in 1882. Right? The guy who published this channeled it during the whole year of 1881. Now, the guy his name was John Ballou Newbrow. He was a dentist. And at the time, he was living in New York City in 1881. And on a few previous occasions, he had a columns of light come into his room. And he started automatic writing with on the paper. And then in 1881, he was in his room and columns of light came over him and urged him to go out and get a typewriter. He went and got the typewriter, and the columns of light every day for an hour would control his fingers, and he would type away. And after he was done, he was scared to read it because he thought that it wouldn't work anymore if he started reading it. So after the year of him channeling, he had this book. Now, in this book, it's written in biblical form, books, there's drawings, there's everything, right? He also, in this book, draws the Van Allen belts way before we knew them, describes them perfectly. He describes the solar wind and how it stretches and spirals out from the sun and inclines towards the planet, right? He talks, there's like some real knowledge in here that we didn't know about until way later. Right. And right in the beginning of the book, Oahspe, right here, when you open it up, right? Look at this. Oahspe, right? It says, Oahspe, the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors, a sacred history of the dominions of the higher and lower heavens on the earth for the past 24,000 years, together with a synopsis of the cosmogony of the universe, the creation of planets, the creation of man, the unseen worlds, the labor and glory of gods and goddesses in the Ethereal heavens. And this book is just incredible. And it's by no means all truth. He even says it in there, but starting in the late 1870s, early 1880s, there was more than just John Newbrow. You had, there's another book right here from the 1880s. Where is it? Here it is. It's called Clothed with the Sun by Anna Kingsford. And this was in the 1880s as well. And there's really good channelings in here that she did. And of course, you have a little bit later in the 1920s, you have Alice Bailey with the Tibetan Dewaj Kul that we're talking about. Now, she said this Tibetan wasn't a Tibetan master. Now, what's interesting is I started to get information coming to me on this. The more I started to read Alice Bailey, the more I started having a spiritual experience with what I was reading, and I was starting to get visuals. So I believe this Tibetan master that was coming to her telepathically is actually in a stasis in a cave somewhere in the Himalayas. Now, of course, I cannot prove this. And this is, you could say it's speculation, and that's fine. I'm willing to accept that. But from what I've seen is that he's not a giant compared to we are. He's much larger than the normal human. And he's in some sort of samadhi type of stasis. So a samadhi is when a yogi can reach a certain stage of enlightenment where his body is not aging, and he's in a stage of meditation or a stasis. And I actually am speaking at the Universal Peace Conference again this year in India. I'm going to be appearing on Zoom. No, I'm not going to be going in person. I was invited in person, but unfortunately I can't afford the trip. They were going to take care of my accommodations and my food and stuff like that, but it's just too much to get a flight in both ways and stuff. And I wasn't going to be getting paid very much for the conference. So, but I'm going to be appearing online. I did it last year as well. And this Universal Peace Conference is an honor for me to be part of. Swamiji, the Sun Yogi, his name is Uma Sankar. Now he's been a guest on my show a few times on my Space Water podcast. Now this man, I don't agree with people becoming gurus. I really don't agree with that. But this man is like a guru, right? And he's also someone that has the ability to not eat or drink water if he wants to. So this man actually can feed off the sun, and he was tested by the they kept him in a hospital for like 14 days one time. He didn't urinate, he didn't drink, he didn't eat, and he was just allowed out on the roof it was monitored on the roof every day for 20 minutes during noontime. It's the hardest time.
That's insane.
But he said that I asked him about this, and he said that he wasn't progressing spiritually this way. It wasn't beneficial to him. He said that it's kind of, how can I put it in an American way? I guess it's an ability that every yogi should have under his hat in case he needs it, in case he's imprisoned, in case he's stuck in the Himalayas and stranded, or something like that, right? Then they can use that ability. But he said he wasn't progressing spiritually at the time. He felt like it was because your body needs certain nutrients. It needs certain things. So he felt like it wasn't really helping his mind or his body progress, but I don't think it's that. When he's talking, when the Sun Yogi was not drinking or eating, I don't think he's in a stasis. There's a samadhi that you can reach. And the Sun Yogi talks about him reaching a samadhi point when he does his meditation. But I think the Tibetan ancient masters had a different version of samadhi, literally a form of samadhi where they can go in a cave for unlimited amounts of time, Rob, thousands of years if need be, right? And there's supposedly a cave in the Himalayas near Kailash. It's somewhere in those caverns within the in the Himalayas. There's a cave that records all civilizations, and you have a yogi from every ancient civilization that's ever existed on Earth in a stasis. It's like a genetic cave of memory, right? And there was a Dr. Moldashev. There's a book. Do I have the book down here? There's a good book that talks about an expedition that was done in the Himalayas by Dr. Moldashev, where they found a cave of giants in stasis, but they couldn't enter too close into it because there was an impending doom that brought them to their knees, like rattling them to the core, like an impending evil that just went into their consciousness and made them sick, and they couldn't walk any further. And they were warned about it. And supposedly there's a record of all ancient civilizations from Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, and there's these ancient yogis in a stasis. I feel that the Tibetan that was telepathically channeling information to Alice Bailey was one of these people in a stasis in this cave.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Let me see if I forget the name of the book. It's by Dr. Moldashev that talks about that expedition. It's a really good book. I might have it over here. It might be upstairs, though. Come on, let me see if I have it over here. Dude, I have so many books. I have like thousands of books. Here it is. I got it. So this is it right here. All right. So the sensational findings of a Himalayan expedition. Where do we come from? By Ernst Moldashev, Dr. Ernst Moldashev. And you see that being? That was one of the beings that telepathically talked to him in the cave with the elongated head and that.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, this is a really good book.
Yeah, it seems like amazing. Yeah,
yeah. He did an expedition in the 90s that supposedly found one of those caves in the Himalayas.
Wow, that's I don't even know what to say about that. That's amazing. Like,
yeah, I think that is one of the so-called Tibetan master that was channeling to Alice Bailey. I think he's in some sort of samadhi stasis.
Yeah, like wow, it's amazing. Yeah, like so you think he's a human that's still on Earth, and he's like, do you think they've been able to prolong their lives for a major amount of time?
I think he was an advanced ancient human, a sort of a form of human, but more advanced and much larger than we are.
Yeah,
one of the devas, the Asura devas.
That's so cool. I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Like, do we have people that want readings tonight?
Let's see. Does anybody? Yeah, I'm sure people do. I haven't asked yet. I mean, I'll put the link in the description to you guys to donate, but you don't have to donate. Like, I mean, it'd be nice if people did, But like, if anybody wants a reading, put your name in the chat and we'll get to you. Let me see here.
Also, my store, the Mystical Spiral store, it's also sponsored on YouTube now. So now when I post videos, I can actually tag my store and my products pop up right on the video. So you guys can go to my store right off of YouTube now as well. And I have been getting spiritually guided visions to make certain products, to carve certain types of skulls, to carve certain types of Vogel wands, to make certain devices for us to be able to assimilate and process this rays of light that's coming on the planet right now and transforming humankind, right? I have been specifically guided to make these products, and I've made them affordable for everybody. And I got the best materials in the world, the best gemstones, the best crystals, the best copper. And I've been making the most incredible devices for us to be able to protect ourselves from a lot of the harmful vibrations, and for us to process and assimilate the different rays of energy that is bombarding the planet right now. And we are going through a time of transcendence and transformation. And it's up to you whether you transcend into a materialistic slime, or if you move to a higher state of light, right? So it's really up to you. And it's up to you right now. It's not up to you tomorrow. It's not up to you in 5 minutes. That's up to you right now, today. This is the time where this avatar is going to emerge, right? Externalization of the hierarchy is going to come at the highest point of the sun, which is the Lion's Gate. It's right now, right? And if you look at the Lion's Gate, this is the time of Sekhmet. This is the time of Pasht. This is the time of the fierce rays of the sun, the solar flashing eyes of the goddess, right? And that's happening right now, everybody, right now. So as this solar storm hits our planet, it's the sacred fire rituals of the Vedics that we're missing. It's to us to attune to the storms of the sun, the sacred Maruts of Vedic, the Iranes of Greek. And this is the time right now for us to align and realize that we are all one. We are a collective consciousness, and we can cleanse this planet collectively with our thoughts and our prayers and our light.
That's really well said, man. I agree 100%. Like, let me see if anybody, if nobody does it, I'll just get to the first person. Okay, so Spiritual Ascension didn't get a reading last time. So what's your first name, Spiritual Ascension? Like, so we know who you are. Like, tell us your name in the chat, and you can be first. And then, yeah, you guys, if you do donate, it helps support my podcast, and it does help. I would do like to pay Raw at the end of the night too. I could give him something like $30 or something, like, and I'll pay him no matter what, whether you guys donate or not. But it helps. It helps, if you do donate. But you're not obligated at all to donate. So yeah, and also before we get into these readings, like, what he's saying is, like, you should definitely check out his store. Like, I mean, like, I'll show you guys again. Like, just like one of the things I got, my favorite thing is like my crystal skull from there. Look at that. Look how amazing that is. Like, inside there, that crystal. Like, it's. I mean, this is a small crystal skull. He said he has big. He'll show you. I mean, he has amazing, huge crystal skulls, and like, just like really, he has copper. Like.
I do custom orders as well. So if you want like a human-sized crystal skull, I can have it made for you. Yeah, Rob ordered that crystal skull, and I sent him those stuff for free. That's a twisted copper around Herkimer diamond, twisted silver.
Yeah, and then I have the other thing here. It's where is it? Where'd it go? It's you sent me another crystal skull thing too. I can't. It's somewhere on my desk here. I
Didn't I send you the dragon, right?
Yeah, the dragon's here somewhere. I don't know where it is.
The golden healer dragon.
Yeah, it's definitely here. I just gotta find. I mean, maybe it won't. Maybe it's not showing up now because I my lights are up. But yeah, but like that's yeah. It's he has amazing amazing products, guys. Like definitely support. But did she? I wonder if she said her name. Let me see here. Someone did donate. So we got. So I guess we'll do spiritual sense first, and we'll get to the first donator. Um, she said Carrie is her name. Her surname is Carrie, Krei.
All right, we're gonna do spiritual ascension first, right?
Yeah. And her name's Carrie. Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie. All right, so I'm getting like a vibe of like we'll do the crystal in a minute because I'm already feeling like aquamarine for some reason with her, but there's also that it doesn't necessarily match the vibe that I'm feeling also with the aquamarine, because aquamarine isn't technically about love and personal commitments to another, but that's the kind of vibe that I'm feeling right now. So there's some kind of energy issue going on with personal commitments to another, human love, and its byproducts of affection, friendship, companionship, things like that, right? So on a deeper level, it's the struggle between good and evil, right? Virtue and vice, love, sex, the difference between being just in a being a superficial kind of friend or whatever. This, I don't know if that's the right word, or like a real friend, or like an infatuation or a permanent relationship. But it has to do with personal commitments to another, and it could be friendship, it could be courtship, someone trying to courtship, or not necessarily marriage, but becoming a lover or more than a friend, something like that. But it's sort of like if in tarot, like we say, there's the lover's card, right? It's the key of 6, and there's symbolism on that card that's very important. If you look at like the Rider-Waite card, there's a lot of interesting symbolism. There's a huge blazing sun that's on top of the card, the top portion of the card, right? And there's a huge angel on that card, and he's got these like outstretching arms, and underneath there's the naked man and woman, right? And it represents a lot of things. That it represents the there's a union of the two, and there's the one needs the other, like day needs night, like there's that bond, right? And there's some sort of energy that has to do with commitments and who calls the shots, maybe, or some sort of divine inspiration that's going on, that Carrie's more attuned to the intuitive and to the divine inspiration, and the person that is conflicting is not, right? And that's the kind of vibe that I'm feeling that's going on, and that's the issue that's with her that needs to be corrected. And I think that one of the energies that I was feeling that right away with her was the aquamarine. And interesting enough, I just post something about aquamarine earlier, and it's aquamarine is for clear communication. So maybe that's why I was feeling that. It's about enhancement of communication and getting that soothing and cooling energy about you, right? And that's what just looking at aquamarine and gemstone aquamarine does. It gives you that cool, soothing tone, right? And it's calming, it's cooling, and people that have these incredible flashes of anger that seem to come too quickly, aquamarine is perfect for that, right? It sort of brings a splash of that cool energy over you. It's a watery type of energy, and I think that would be great for spiritual ascension right now, Carrie. An aquamarine type, and it's like the water of the gemstones, right? And it's cleansing, right? It brings cleansing to your emotional bodies, and it's one of the best for clearing communication problems between people. And I think that's right now what you need.
Wow, that's amazing. What's the best crystal that's like aquamarine? Like, is there different ones that are like aquamarine?
Yeah. All crystals are not equal. So you have all types of aquamarine. You even have different colors of aqua. Like there's different shades of aquamarine. There's different blues of aquamarine. But yeah, I would recommend the gemstone of aquamarine, one of the barrel gemstones. Those are really great. Or a pendant of aquamarine where you can wear it right near your heart or right near your throat, right somewhere right there. That would be really great. Something that you can even put right by your bedside or right by your desk or something like that. Right? Its energy is really helps with your emotional patterns.
Wow, that's amazing.
I can actually show you aquamarine gem. I don't even know if I have one right now. Wait, hold on. I think it might be. I have to go in the other room. Oh wait, no, I got it. I got a gemstone. I'll get you a gemstone of aquamarine. Hold on. So aquamarine comes in all different types, the gemstones. So I have some gemstones that are like the barrel gemstones, and then you got others that are the rough gemstones. Facet grade. Facet grade means that there's no imperfections in it. It's perfect for jewelry, and it's high grade. So this is a barrel gemstone of aquamarine.
Wow, that's so cool.
Right? And then you have some of that are the rough gemstones of aquamarine like this.
That's so
And
cool.
I wrap them in pendants. You know, I do all sorts of work with them too. So, and I have different colors of that. And this is another color of aquamarine, the rough gemstone.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, the barrel ones are the best. These ones are awesome.
She says she has an aquamarine tumble. She says, but she says she I don't know what a tumble is. She says will put it up on the screen. But she says she will venture to get a larger piece.
Yeah, a little tumblestone. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, what do you have in stock right now? Do you know? Like, that's kind of what you showed us. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's wow. That's I love that, man. Like,
yeah, I have.
Do you have any aquamarine crystal skulls too?
Huh?
Do you have any aquamarine crystal skulls too?
I don't have an aquamarine crystal skull. Not right now. No, but I can have one made. Aquamarine is really, it would be very expensive for an aquamarine crystal skull, like a gemstone of it. But I do have some gemstone skulls. I do have some gemstone skulls in quartz, and anything could be made. So if someone wants to do a custom order, I could do a custom order. So when it comes to crystal skulls, you know.
Yeah, you work with some of the best carvers in the world, right? When it comes to crystal skulls.
I do some carving myself. So between the faces and the people that I work with, yeah, we could pretty much do any custom order when it comes to dragon skulls or crystal skulls, or pretty much any carving that you want, like a tower, palm stone, or whatever.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now the next person was Tracy McKinney. I guess she doesn't want to put a comment in the chat. I told her, I said to put a comment in the chat so I could pull up her avatar, but she didn't put anything in the chat yet. So I don't know if you can just kind of pick up like for me saying her name, and her name is Tracy McKinney again. And and thanks for donating, Tracy. You know.
So Tracy McKinney. What did the last person say too? Did they
She said thanks guys, and she said nice.
Did it resonate with her?
Yeah, it resonated with her.
So
So I'm gonna ask what kind of readings you're doing. So he's doing like just regular readings. What comes to him, and then he's also matching you with whatever crystal you would, whatever crystal he feels like you would match up with. So it's like they're like crystal readings. You're gonna
yeah.
get
So,
you're gonna get a psychic reading, and he's gonna match you up with whatever crystal he thinks you would go well with your situation.
so for Kerry McKinney, so yeah, I get psychic imprints. A lot of times it is a lot easier for me if I'm like scribbling on a piece of paper or sketching or doing like a sort of automatic writing. But I get certain imprints. Sometimes it's harder than other times. But I'm getting that feeling like of atonement, like your day is going to come, a rebirth, a renewal of spirit, a second chance, and coming to your senses, sort of. It's sort of like the judgment card in tarot, right? The key of 20. That would be a very similar. If you were doing a tarot reading, I would say I pulled the judgment card, right? It's kind of like when someone takes a good long look at themselves. When the people, the questions people ask themselves, throughout life. Why am I here? What am I doing? Where am I going? And what's the purpose of my life? And then making a change based on that careful analysis of the total situation of who you are, right? A new lifestyle. You're freeing yourself of some of the tombs of habit, right? And some of the sameness that you've had, right? And becoming alive again, breaking out of your so-called tomb and coffin or grave or box or prison that you put yourself in certain ways, whether it's spiritually or in a job or financially. You can refuse to not know something, but you can't escape the consequences of your refusal, right? And that is the card of coming to your senses. That's what the judgment card is. And that's the kind of symbolism that I'm getting. I also feel like that kyanite would be perfect for you right now, right? So kyanite is one of the most powerful stones in the world, one of the most powerful crystals, and one of my favorite. Let me see what kind of. So this is what a kyanite specimen looks like. Has those big, huge blue pieces in there, right? And all the crystal in it. This is a kyanite specimen. And kyanite is just probably, I would say, definitely in my top 10. But sometimes it's in my top 3. Sometimes it's my favorite. It depends on the week. And kyanite is about psychic abilities. It's about connecting with nature, past life recall, telepathy, empathy. It has a very high communication. Like it transfers energy incredibly, and it's one of the only crystals and minerals in the world that doesn't collect negative energy. Blue kyanite is my favorite. Black kyanite is really strong too. Black kyanite's incredible as well. Black kyanite and blue kyanite are my favorite, but you got like other like green. You got green kyanite, but blue kyanites are probably one of my favorite stones in the world. And when you combine kyanites with each other, it's really powerful as well. I think they even recently discovered not too long ago an orange kyanite. So there's all sorts of kyanites out there. Black kyanite is good for also absorbing EMF and blocking from EMF radiation. And blue kyanite is like, man, it's one of the best for telepathic communication, lucid dreamings, astral travel, and just great for your light body. I definitely would recommend blue kyanite.
Wow. I hope that resonated with you, Tracy. That's amazing. Like, how long have you been doing this, man? Like, how long have you been dealing with crystals? Like, how long have you had your business?
Well, I first started doing readings on people in 19 91.
Wow.
So I was in 9th grade when I first started doing 8th and 9th grade. 8th, 9th grade when I first started doing like tarot readings and things like that with people. So I started working with crystals around the same time. And I've had my business since roughly around 2012, but I got my new website, the Mystical Spiral Store, around 2017, 2018.
Wow.
So I've been doing it a long time. I've had the Mystical Spiral. The first website I had, the mysticalspiral.com, that I've merged it now to the mysticalspiralstore.com, but I own both domains. I started that website in, I think, 2013. So I've had that since then, but I've been doing readings and crystal work and Reiki work. I've gotten Master Reiki Healer certificates. A Reverend in Our Lady and Lord of the Trinacrian Rose, which is an ancient wisdom society coming from Sicily. And I've been over 30 years experience doing crystal work and readings.
Wow, that's amazing, man. We had just a regular question. This was Sybil, and Sybil wants to know. I'll just put this up. She says, "I just put on my aquamarine ring in honor of this video." She said, "How can I verify it's a real aquamarine? Because the one I have is about 1.2 centimeters times 0.75." She says, "I wear it on my left forefinger."
I could tell. Just send me a picture of it. So email me a picture of it. I could tell just by looking at it whether it's a real aquamarine.
Yeah,
I could tell just by looking at it.
Let's see who else is next. Who's next.
Go to my website and send me a picture of it, and I'll let you know. I'll email you back. I pretty much respond to everybody. It might take me a couple of days, but
this next one is Sally Forth, and she says "I always want to read. You can tell." She says, "Can you tell what I'm supposed to do?" Her real name's Tiffany. Sorry, her real name's Tiffany. Sorry.
Yeah. So what's interesting is like if you ever did like tarot readings, it would be like a 3 of Pentacles kind of card that I'm feeling. And that one actually is kind, and this is good because I'll teach people how to do tarot while I'm doing this as well. So with the 3 of Pentacle card, it really means what there's surrounding cards really make a big difference with the 3 of Pentacle cards, because this card usually refers to somebody's work, whether it's good or bad. It determines by the surrounding cards, right? So it has to do with your skills, your craftsmanship, your professionalism, what you're supposed to do. It's interesting that she said that because I was already getting that 3 of Pentacles vibe. So it's ability to think in abstract principles, creative ideas in commerce, in business, in industry, the brain trust, think tanks, idea banks, all that goes along with the 3 of Pentacles. Now, what would come with it now, what's interesting that I'm getting the symbolism for is that Fool card, right? Which is very interesting that comes with it, because that card has to do with you having a choice in life, and no matter which path you choose, at the end of each life lies a destiny. Right? Knowledge comes from trial and error, right? So you have to go out there and try things that you have the love for, right? Knowledge comes from trial and error. There are certain things on when you go on life's journey, guideposts, if you want to say, but there are no guarantees, right? So whether you wind up a wise woman or remain a fool, it depends upon the choices and the decisions that you make, right?
Yeah.
And this is that when you get this kind of things in a reading, it means blind faith, foolishness, unwarranted optimism, errors of judgment. You learn by your mistakes type of energy. Those who don't live and learn, they're doomed to repeat their mistakes. That type of energy, right? So that's coming along with what she's supposed to do on her path in life, right? So that's a very interesting combination. So it makes me worry that her thoughts are not clear enough right now, because if she's not on the right path, then maybe she's not following what she truly loves to do. And she's got to take what she really loves to do and think on it, meditate on it, and the answer will come to you. The answer will come to you because what you love to do is what you're supposed to be doing. What you love to do, what makes your soul sing. What do you think about in the morning when you wake up and right before you go to bed? And I'm not talking about a relationship person. I'm not talking about someone you love. Right? I'm not talking about, oh, I think about my mate before. It's not that. What makes you tick? There's got to be something you're interested in that you love to do, that you know when you do it, it makes you and other people smile. That's what you need to be doing, right? And it might have to do with you also making some mistakes and learning from them, right? Trying some things out and failing, right? Because believe me, the only way you learn in life is by failing. You have to get something wrong 1,000 times before you become a master at it, right? And that's what's going on. You know, you need to become a master at what you love. And that takes hard work, and it takes mistakes, and it takes being okay with making those mistakes and failing. I also feel like Apache Tears would be great. I might have one, but I don't feel like finding it right now and digging it out. But Apache Tears, for some reason, is coming to me. Apache Tears are they're powerful, and there's something that could be combined really well with other stones as well. I'm trying to think what would be good for Apache to combine them with. They're for grounding, they're for protection, they're for enjoying your physical experience in life, like cleansing you and enjoying who you are. And they're an obsidian, and usually with obsidian, they can usually be used for intense grounding sessions, right? And protection against all negative energies. Anytime you have a black stone, whether it's a shungite or a black tourmaline, they are really good for absorbing those negative energies and protecting from those negative energies. And obsidian is one of those great ones. Obsidian, even a golden sheen obsidian. So I have a golden sheen obsidian. I even have golden sheen obsidian skull. But I have golden sheen obsidian palm stones that are great, are incredible. So they're a black obsidian with a golden light that flashes on it. Those would be great for you, you know. And Apache Tears, they're really good for talismans, like for protection from all sorts of negative forces, right? You know, and for, you know, really blocking you from negativity from other people, and from whether it's, you know, people talking about you or family members, or, you know. But I definitely recommend either an obsidian or an Apache's Tears or something like that, or even a shungite or a black tourmaline.
I was muted. Hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah,
I hear
muted.
you. Yeah.
That was amazing. We have like a couple more people who want readings. The next one is Mel, and I'm not sure what question she had.
Mel.
She says, "Hope I can get a reading too." And yeah, and
So
do you have a
Mel is
question?
getting Mel. I'm getting
sorry,
that
go ahead.
sun. I'm getting that sun energy. Like it would be the sun card in tarot, right? The sun it's about success, growth, material wealth, attainment, personal satisfaction, having a sunny disposition, even, right? Bright with promise, good luck, a lucky break, things, you know, the bright side is coming, right? But in if you were doing a tarot reading, if you got the sun card and it was followed by a bunch of negative cards, then it would mean that despite all the obstacles and trouble, the final result is going to be favorable. And I feel that's what's going on with you, right? That there might be some obstacles and troubles, but the final result is going to be sunshine. You know, darkness before the dawn. After the storm, the rainbow appears, right? That kind of stuff. And the sun is the most important thing in our solar system, an important thing in our life and on Earth, right there. And that's the kind of energy. And I really highly recommend either an orange calcite or a sunstone. Sunstone is incredible. I have sunstone gemstones as well, and even a sunstone skull. One of my favorite is sunstone, and even orange calcite. I recommend those ones. That would be perfect for you. A orange calcite or a sunstone. Even like a fire quartz or a golden healer quartz. That would be great for right now for you as well. You know, sunstones are really powerful. They come with the gemstones of sunstone have like a confetti type of flash on them. They're really amazing, and I would definitely get either sunstone or like an orange calcite. That would be really good. Even maybe even a watermelon tourmaline would be good for you as well.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Like a watermelon tourmaline sounds like.
Or like even they have there's a rare type of selenite called a sunset gold selenite, or even a Lemurian golden opal. Those golden opals or a golden selenite, those would be great. But sunstone is incredible. I mean, sunstone's that fire. It's about strength, abundance of blessings, enlightened energies, right? And it's a stone of personal strength, freedom, expanding your consciousness, right? Benevolence, warmth, strength, mental clarity. All those stuffs are what emanates from sunstone, right? So I definitely would go more with the sunstone, I think, than the orange calcite.
Wow, that was amazing. I'll do the next one. The next one's the Andromedan, and I don't know what he said, and then we got a donation after that. I don't know what he says. Anything that comes up for my craft or my team. I think he feels like he's on ship somewhere or something.
Wow, so I'm feeling like I don't know why I'm getting like these reptilian type of. Well, do you hear that too? I just heard like a. Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I did. What is that? I wonder. Like,
what the hell was that?
By the way, Mel said that was a great read. She said thank you.
You're welcome, Mel. So I'm getting like some sort of reptilian visuals when he asked me to anything that comes when you started saying, well, he's this and that. You know, he thinks he's good, and so some of the, you know, I'm seeing like a winged sphere and like a reptilian type face. It's almost like a, sorry, from that kind of symbolism that I get, it has to do with usually willpower. You know, the mastery over your mind and what's controlling your mind, and about self-possession, and how your mind is really your only weapon for survival. And having a full conscious awareness of what is good and what is evil, and what's beneficial and what's destructive is very important to you right now, but should be very important to you right now. And I think that harnessing one's energies and talents constructively is going to give him a clearer view of his craft and who his team is. And I feel like that he might be being deceived a little bit with some of this, and he might be in dream time he might be being used by some of these off-world entities that he's describing.
Wow.
There's some sort of like winged sphere. I could draw it, and like a reptilian type of face, but it looks like a gorilla with a snout, like a gorilla weird snout, like a gorilla face, but it's like reptilian. That's what was popping into me.
That's insane.
Yeah. Now, Now there's some crystals that he can use to further his path, and like if he really wants to connect to his off-world higher energies, right? So copper is really good for that in general. I mean, that's not a crystal, but crystals copper-based things turn into crystals like azurite and malachite, and copper goes hand in hand with crystal, right? It carries the energy of the crystal and enhances it, right? So I think that working with copper would be really good for him. And if he combined the copper with like an apatite, it would probably be, apatite is a stone, not being hungry. It's spelled Apatite. And specifically blue apatite is for psychic activation and the access of knowledge. And it has to do with the third eye and the wind, right? And blue apatite would be great for him. And it's about cleansing the influence on the auric fields, right? Especially in the mental body and the vibe and your sort of your psychic abilities and your paranormal connections, right? And apatite is just incredible. It's actually, what's interesting is that word that it comes from is the apatite. It actually comes from a word in Greek that means to deceive, right? And because it has a variety of colors and different formations, and it makes it easy to mistake it for other minerals. Like a lot of people think it's aquamarine or it's this or it's that, and it has all these different colors. Apatite, it could come in green, brown, gray, yellow, blue. I mean, it comes in all. It could be colorless even. One of the largest apatites deposits is in Russia, Krovsk, Russia, and some of those pieces that they've pulled out of Russia weighs 200 kilograms, right? Some of them even in Canada have been found, huge ones. They've been deposited in our Earth to help Earth with those same things, to help Earth with its psychic abilities, to help Earth with its harmony and its balance, to help Earth with its knowledge and its storage of knowledge. So apatite will have the storage of your knowledge and of your team. And if you work with apatite, it will be revealed to you.
Wow, it's amazing! Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. I hope that resonates with you.
Andromeda.
Yeah.
Andromedan. Yeah.
See here. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Tiffany, for donating. She donated for a reading. She must have really liked her reading. Thank you. And this one's from Rodika. And thank you for donating, Rodika. And she said, Rodika says, she says, about my gifts, when will they awaken? And that's her real name, Rodika.
So, Rodika.
She's actually from your city. She's from New York City. She's one of the people I was going to say, if I come to visit, I'll be visiting her as well. I think she lives in Queens.
Oh, really? Yeah. My wife lived in Queens for a little while. That's where she was born, my wife.
Wow, that's so cool. So you guys are both native New Yorkers, you and Mika.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, for you guys in the chat, Magic Mika is Ra's wife. Like for everybody, if you see her in the chat, say hi. She's a really nice lady, and she's really cool.
We've known each other since 6th grade.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. She was in my 7th grade math class, I think.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yep.
Wow.
I used to I would be like the clown of the class trying to make her laugh and stuff. And then she was so cute. Like she had braces at the time, so she didn't want to show her she would get all shy with laughing because she had braces. It was so cute. Like she would get all red faced and embarrassed. And I used to think she was cute back then, You
guys are actually high school sweethearts, basically.
We after middle school, I barely saw her in high school, dude. She was a good girl, and I was a bad kid, right? So I was with the bad crowds. like with the older crowds, and she was a good girl. So I barely saw her in high school. We lived our own lives for a while, and then we connected later on in life and had a baby as soon as we connected.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your daughter's really psychic too, huh?
Yeah. I think it's in the family. Yeah. She just has a natural intuition about things. You know?
Yeah, that's really awesome.
It's incredible. Yeah. But I definitely feel for Rodica that strength is like the symbolism that I'm getting, the meaning, like overcoming obstacles, intestinal fortitude, right? Spiritual power stronger than material power. And once you start to, she's like, when will my gifts awaken? Well, this is how you awaken them. You know, quiet determination. You have to have sweet reason over roaring irrationality. You have to catch more flies with honey than vinegar, right? So that's sort of the energy that I'm getting. Like it would be in tarot, it would look up the strength card, the key of 8, right? So that's the symbolism in that card is in gentleness lies true strength, right? And you know, so it's about not roaringly getting out of irrational. And I have that problem sometimes too. I think that we get like that as humans, just when things don't go our way. That the way you're gonna handle obstacles is going to reveal and awaken your gifts. So remember, next time you have an obstacle, the way you handle that is going to help you awaken who you are and your true gifts, right? And crystals can be incredible for that. And working with crystals can be incredible for basically, you know, activating those gifts that you have, those gifts within you. And I actually think that an avarintine would be good for you. It's about self-discipline, inner strength, psychic attunement. They have green avarintine, they have blue avarintine. I actually, it's aventurine, the way it's spelled, aventurine. And green is very interesting. I mean, aventurine is a part of the quartz family. It's you know, it's like a hexagonal structure, and it has to do with self-confidence, growth, optimism, and having a zest for life, right? And it harmonizes with all sorts of types of quartz. So you can combine it with other types of quartz, and it really works well. And it's good for balancing your emotional and your physical energies, right? And it when people go through like a long dark period, right, where they're not sure about what's going on, who they are, green avarintine helps you express who you are again, right? And it reminds you of the oneness that you have with the cosmos, and it releases any attachments that you have, and any past experiences that are still holding you down, and it helps you with issues of depression. Now, these stones are not magic, but they have energies about them that you can tap into and amplify that help you on your way, right? So I recommend an avarintine, and also combining that maybe with a rose quartz or even a smoky quartz.
That's cool. I like that. Like, what does that do when you combine them? Is it just like, is it like for psychic awareness? Is that would be like an ultimate?
They all got different personalities and characteristics. So like some go good with others, and you combine it to make it even more powerful. Wow. And then you can even make crystal grids of them. You know, and then when you start to work with the crystal, you just like when you have a smartphone, you have to put like a little code to access the phone. Same thing when you touch the crystal. When you go out in the moonlight, say, and you want to communicate with your crystal, you touch it a certain way each time you turn it on, and then you turn it off. So then you can put it back down and let it, and then every time you want to communicate it, you have a certain code, the way you touch it. It's your specific crystal that you activate, and then you shut off. You know, so it's about you working with it and putting your thoughts into the current of the crystal as well.
Wow, that was amazing. Sybil wanted to know your website. It's the mysticalspiralstore.com, Sybil. And
Yep.
I'll say it again, the mysticalspiralstore.com. And does anybody else want a reading while we're here, or maybe we can finish up earlier? I don't know. Or if somebody else maybe wants a reading,
I think we've been going for like an hour and a half already anyway, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll finish up now then, and then we'll. Is there anything else you want to? Is there anything else you want to promote, or anything else you want to talk about before we finish up?
Well, you guys can also go to my Patreon. You guys can join my Patreon. Not only do I do, crystal work and readings and work like that, but I have been doing advanced research for about 30 years, since I'm about 17, 18 years old. I've been doing really heavy research and translating ancient writings, advanced high level work on the transmigration of souls, and all sorts of religions, and even plasma physics and the effect on the spiritual domain of humans, and how plasma is one of the most misunderstood forms of matter in the universe, and all sorts of information on my Patreon that you can join for as low as $2 a month. And I put stuff up every week on there, a few times a week. It's patreon.com/themysticalspiral. And you can also go to my YouTube. I have over 10,000 subscribers now, and my stores, you can go right on my store on YouTube. It's featured on my YouTube now. So that's Exploring the Ka with Castaldo on YouTube. And there's also a second channel I started now called The Mystical Spiral Copper and Gemstones. So you can go to those two on YouTube, or you can just go to the mysticalspiralstore.com. I have free info on there. Go to the menu. There's so much free info on there, and you can also get my store on there. And of course, Rob, we should do these, more often. There's sometimes I don't come on for a while, but I know I came on the other night, but I'll come on every couple times a month, once a week, whatever you want.
Yeah, this will be cool. Yeah, it's cool. And thank you to anybody who donated, and support the podcast, guys. And thank you so much to everybody tonight. I'm going to try to get a workout in before. I'm going to go take a night walk, because I didn't.
That sounds like a good idea.
I didn't get to exercise all day today. I need to get out of this. I'm glad we decided to finish up a little bit. I want to take a walk and get some air, and I'll smoke, but I still want to get some air.
Yeah, yo. Yeah. Who do you got in the Hamzat and DDP fight?
Oh, I think I got Hamzat. I think he's. Yeah. I was hearing Brendan Schaub talk about him today because Brendan Schaub got a chance to. I know Brendan Schaub's not the end all be all for MMA advice, but he
knows what he's talking about, though. He knows what he's talking about.
He got to see Hamzat train, and he said Schaub's like 6'5", 230 pounds. He said when he saw Hamzat training in person, he said he literally got scared. He said that dude is like a fucking nonstop buzzsaw. You know what I mean? Because when I saw DDP fight, he has a stance that's kind of square. And it's a little bit slow. I don't know how he beat Robert.
He's going to get taken down. He's going to get taken down, yeah. But the thing is, I don't think – the thing about Hamzat is that, yeah, he's a monster and he's a beast, but I don't think he knows how to be the nail. He only knows how to be the hammer. I have a feeling that if he faces adversity, he's going to break.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he's like a bully, bro. He only knows how to be a bully, that guy. I don't think he knows how to face adversity. Yeah,
I was looking that up. I was seeing who else is fighting on that card. That's a good card.
I think he might win, but I'm not rooting for him for some reason.
Yeah. Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page is on that as well. That's a good fight.
I want MVP to win.
Yeah, I like MVP. I like him a lot. I think he's a.
I like his style.
Yeah, I think he'll beat Jared Cannonier. You know what I mean?
He might if he don't get wrestle fucked.
Jason, check this out real quick. Jason's one of my moderators. Jason, he's really cool. He says he called in to set the day I'm supposed to judge that cannabis cup.
Cool.
What do you mean calling it? I don't know. So he's going to judge a cannabis cup. That's pretty cool.
Is that for high times or no?
Who's that for, Jason? Where are you going to judge the cannabis cup? Like,
is that for the High Times magazine, or is it different than that?
I don't know. I can't remember who he said.
Dude, I used to work when I was younger. I used to work at Tower Records here in New York.
Yeah.
And I used to get the High Times magazine from there all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about. They used to have the cannabis cup on the cover.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna smoke a joint tonight. You know, as soon as this is over, like, you know,
sounds like a good thing. I got the Chem Girl right now, 30%.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got OG Chem myself. I got OG Chem. I don't know if they're like variations.
Yeah, probably related. Yeah,
that's so cool. Like, yeah. Who else is that? Let's see. Rodica says she used to go to Tower Records in the Village.
Yeah, I worked at Tower Records in Nanuet, New York. It's like 25 miles from Manhattan, 30 around there. It's like, but I tried to get a job at the Tower Records in Manhattan at first, but I couldn't. There wasn't availability. But do you realize at the time, dude, you had to be a musician to get the job at Tower Records. Like I gave them my demo tape from my band.
Wow.
Like it wasn't an easy job to get. I got it when I was like 19. You know, they wanted someone that was diverse, in different music, and that was also either a musician themselves or well versed in music. So like
you were like a hardcore band, right? You were like more like hardcore, not like punk, but more hardcore, I would say.
Yeah, I was in like a band that was like a blend of like hardcore and also like Deftones and Alice in Chains, a little bit mixed. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's Rodica says she got she said she got a. I was just looking through the comments here. She says she got an autograph from the Ramones back in the day there.
That's wow. Cool. Yeah, I saw them play a few times at CBGB's. I played at CBGB's a few times myself.
That's a big place in New York. That's legendary. That's a legendary punk place, right? I've never been there.
It doesn't exist anymore. I think they made it into like a museum or something now, but it was on the Bowery. But it was legendary. It wasn't that big of a venue either. It's like kind of a small place.
Yeah, dude, I want to come to New York really bad. I was thinking about if I can afford it, I can get an Airbnb, and then I can come visit you. I can visit Rodica, and then my friend Michelle is living in Brooklyn. She's living in a van in Brooklyn. So there's a lot of people to come visit. You know, like I definitely do it. You know, like I definitely want to. I think I'm thinking about it. And Frank lives there too.
Yeah, Frank Castle's right here. He's in the Bronx. Yeah.
Wow. You know, like I would say we could get a group together, but I think personalities might clash. Or do you think everybody would get along?
No, it would be cool. Me and Frank hang out.
Yeah. So if you guys are in the New York area and you guys want to do a meetup, let us know, and I'm going to try to come to New York. You know, like
dude, I've been to Frank's house several times.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool. Like, yeah, like
my daughter's been there. I brought my daughter there. My wife's changed my daughter's diapers when she was younger, right at Frank's house.
Wow.
Yeah, right in his kitchen.
Spiderbite says you can come visit me in Australia. I'd love to visit Australia, Spiderbite. That'd be amazing. You know, I mean, that'd be really cool. You know, like
that would be really cool.
I'd love to go to the ocean. The ocean's amazing there. You know, and I've
always wanted to go to Australia, dude. My whole life, for some reason, when I was a little kid, my teacher had asked me when I was like in elementary school where I wanted to go, and I said Australia. I don't even know why I said it, but first from a young age, I always was interested in Australia.
Yeah. Wow. And it's weird. Like, I don't know if you get this too, but I get a lot of listeners from Australia. Like
dude, I've had a lot of customers over the years. I mean, dude, I've shipped to Australia probably 15 times in the last 5 years, which is a lot for Australia.
And it costs like $30-$40 to ship something there, right?
It's expensive. Yeah, when I ship internationally, it's usually to like either Australia or the Netherlands or the UK or Canada or something like that. Yeah, I've had a lot of countries though, a lot of different countries I've sent. Dude, products that I've made with my hands are all over the world. Brazil, friggin' Asia, Japan, friggin' all over Europe, you know, all over the world. Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, all over.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing that you've been able to get your stuff out like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like that's really cool. Like,
I hope my mom sees this somewhere. She never got to see it. My mom died in 2011, so she never really got to see my products being sent all over the world like this. She would have been proud of me.
hell yeah, man! You've been able to build something that's amazing. You know, like I mean, you know, you should be proud. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Like, I think that's really amazing that you've been able to, you know, do that. You know,
from where I came from, bro. You know, I was in a group home when I was younger. Like, I went through adolescent facilities. You know, I was in Rikers Island as an adolescent. Like, a lot of people thought I wasn't going to live past 25 at one point in my life. To turn it around and do what I've done is remarkable for me, and I'm proud of myself. I might not be benefiting that financially really yet. I'm kind of still like living week to week, but when it comes to, you know, my soul and who I am, I'm proud of who I am.
Me too, man. I was like, there was a point when I'm 45 now, but when I was like 29, 30 years old, I was so fucked up on drugs, and I was like the worst person in the world. You know what I mean? I don't even want to know that version of myself. You know, like, I feel like I've been able to change my life around, and like, you know.
Yeah, bro, you should be proud of yourself, man. You've connected with some people all over the world, dude. Some really special people as well, and you give them a voice and a platform to speak.
Yeah. I don't think about that. You know what I mean? I just kind of keep going. You know, because it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like,
dude, you're a good dude, bro. You got a good heart.
Oh, thanks, man. You too. You know, I mean, that's why I like doing these shows with you. You know,
dude,
like, I consider you like a really good friend.
I consider you a friend, and I trust you, and I love you like a brother, bro. I really consider you a good friend.
Oh,
that's why I call you all the time, bro. I call you all the time. Yeah. I call, dude. You'll know if I like you, I call you. People that I just text, I don't really like that much. Like, if I just text, like, if you're a friend of mine, I mean acquaintances, we just text because that's what we do. And it's not because I don't like. But like, if you're like a close friend of mine, I call the person and talk to them. You know, and there's only a handful of people I call in the world, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Oh, you're one of them.
Dude, I feel that means, wow, that feels amazing, man. That's awesome. Well, yeah, I guess we could end it here. Yeah, and do you want to promote? Do you want to tell people one more time how they can follow you, dude?
Yep. Everything's right at the Mystical Spiral, the Mystical Spiral store, patreon.com/the Mystical Spiral, and Exploring the Ka on YouTube. Guys, I love it. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you all for giving me the honor to be able to read you as well. It's a pleasure to be able to, and thank you guys for trusting me with reading you guys. And check me out, themysticalspiralstore.com. Change your life today. Spiral.
Wow, that was amazing, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode, and that was really amazing. And okay, so tomorrow's a really busy day. I'll just tell you guys that are still here. You know, I put it in the chat, but I have 2 shows with Kali. We're going to do one in the afternoon with James Gilliland, and then at night is Peter Maxwell Slattery. Those are at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern. But then before that, or in between that and after that, at 6 p.m. Eastern, I have Breakaway Ray coming on and doing tarot for you guys. So that'll be more tarot for whoever didn't get a reading tonight. You can get a reading tomorrow from Breakaway Ray at 6 p.m. And then at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, I have Missy Hill coming on to do like an update. You know, she's always out there traveling, working the grids, and like, you know, maintaining the grids, and like, you know, she always has like the paranormal updates. That'll be at about 9:30 Eastern after I finish my 8 o'clock show. That'll be like the nightly recap. So there's 4 shows tomorrow, guys. 4 shows. Hopefully everything all goes well. You know, I will, like, right now I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to go smoke a joint. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow, and have a good night, guys. Take care. I love you all. Good night.